and laughter to thousands. Comedian Sam Kinison is dead, killed in a car crash late last night. But who will ever forget the man who made his audiences laugh by screaming at them?
Oh, I cheated on her a little bit, sure. One-night stands, nobody knew, but I didn't have to go to federal prison. For 7 years, I could be some guy's roommate and put on a dress and shoes and dance.
Known for his sometimes abrasive humor and primal yowl, those who knew him say it's hard to believe he was once a preacher. Kinison was killed instantly on U.S. Highway 95, about 250 miles east of Los Angeles, near Needles, California. That's on the Nevada, Arizona, California state lines. Kinison's sports car was hit head-on by a pickup truck that swerved across the center line. Those close to the 38-year-old comedic actor say the real tragedy is he was finally turning his life around after a long history of drug and alcohol abuse. One California comedy club owner says it's ironic Kinison would be killed by a suspected teenage drunk driver.
And here's Sam, who's lived this wild life, you know, sober as can be, driving along, minding his own business, and whammo, two drunk kids come out and slam into him. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
The 17-year-old truck driver is being held tonight on manslaughter charges. Kinison's wife of just 6 days was also hurt in the crash. Her injuries, though, are not life-threatening. Mike?
Let's stay with that theme.
And while colleagues and fans remembered Kinison tonight, the jokes rolled on at Royal Oaks Comedy Castle, they say, as Kinison would have wanted.
Mark Ridley has been running this successful comedy club for 13 years now, but he admits he's made a few mistakes along the way, like the time he turned down a chance to book an up-and-coming comic named Sam Kinison because he thought Metro Detroiters weren't ready for the man's unique brand of humor.
He was the kind of guy that when everybody else was doing the standard, you know, joke, punchline, he was experimenting, and it showed in his act.
And comedy fans like those at Ridley's Club tonight quickly came to like Kinison's act. At least most of them did.
To be honest, I think he was a little obnoxious.
Well, he kind of opened the door for, a different kind of comedy. People weren't so subdued, and, they were more aggressive to do loud and obnoxious things.
Fred Greenlee, the headliner at Ridley's Club this weekend, started out with Kinison in Texas in the early 80s and worked with him as recently as last fall. He says the screaming shtick should not be Kinison's legacy.
It's not important that he screamed. That's not important. What's important was that he was funny. He had a unique vision of the world, maybe. And if anything, that's how he was unique. It had nothing to do with his screaming. That was pyrotechnics. That was all fireworks.
Greenlee also recalls the day Kinison's brother died that the comedian went on stage that night and did his regular routine. And Greenlee believes if somehow Kinison could also perform tonight, he would no doubt be cracking jokes about his own death, the way only Sam Kinison could.
Yeah, I think he's right. He was a classic. People were stunned, I gather, hearing that news.
Yeah, they had heard about it sometime during the day, and everybody was buzzing about it before the show got started tonight.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Let's stay with entertainment now. Rose is wanted in St. Louis on charges of assault and property damage for his alleged role in a riot at a concert there last summer. Now, after hearing that, the group abruptly canceled shows in the Chicago area this weekend and the Monday and Tuesday concerts scheduled for the Palace of Auburn Hills. Rose's whereabouts unknown tonight.
See their favorite rockers in concert next week. The group canceled shows at the Palace scheduled for Monday and Tuesday because lead singer Axl Rose is in trouble with the law. Rose is wanted on charges stemming from a riot during the band's performance in St. Louis last year. The band on the run opted to cancel shows in Illinois and Michigan to avoid arrest. Axl faces charges for assault and property damage. A California teenager faces manslaughter charges tonight for the death of comedian Sam Kinison. The comic, a former preacher known for his screaming outburst on stage, was killed on a California highway last night in a head-on collision. Police say the 17-year-old driver of a pickup truck crossed the center lane and collided with Kinison's car. The comedian and his new bride were heading to Las Vegas when the accident happened. She is in serious condition.